former president of the country, the deputy president, facilitators of the sessions, MPs, and respectively my Vice Chancellor, Prof. Tyrone Pretorius. My name is Azani Akyali. I am the spokesperson of the PAC. Mine is going to be precise and be short. But where I want to state this is the position of the PAC on coalitions. We probably need to start with the fact that our benchmarking was done with our colonizers. It also is reflective of how much we are obsessed with benchmarking with our colonizers and to seek for solutions. We are for totalitarian power of the state. This arrangement is an administrative chaos. That is what coalitions have proven. But we must equally make mention of the fact that we love that the ANC does at this current moment in time feel that there are power shifts in South Africa. But furthermore, we must also stress that we strongly agree with the thesis that the sole purpose of coalitions in this country are precisely on service delivery, as we believe that this is an ideological issue. At the center of service delivery are ideological questions. What then becomes key priority of issues of government are not outside of the ideological question. There are some amongst us here who see bright streets, light, and toilets in townships as service delivery, without questioning the very existence of township as an unethical existence, first of place. Here we are gathered because there seems to be a very seamless and effective implementation of racist and anti-black bylaws. Therefore, for the PAC, the ideological question in forming coalition must not be undermined. It is precisely this undermining of the ideological question that has given rise to power-hungry organizations who are willing to go to bed with anyone that is going to give them power in the state. We further saw that beyond administration issues was the issue of trust between organizations. And as stated earlier, these all emanate from our different ideological frameworks. The most time is consumed trying to sort political differences and to build trust, which on its own does derail our progress in resolving our irreconcilable historical differences and where we find ourselves as a country. On principle, coalitions are marriages of convenience and very much unprincipled at that. The common denominator should then, in this case, be the interests first of black people, and here we even have right-wingers who want to chant governance charter. We must be very careful in bringing back apartheid apologists through backdoor. On the position of threshold, as the PAC, we are vehemently opposed to the proposal of the threshold. It is a lie to say that there is no threshold in the South African electoral system. If there was no threshold, then everyone who runs for election would be represented in legislatures and council. The Constitution requires proportional representation, and we must take this imperative very serious into its spirit. Our government needs and must be a true reflection of the different views that are representative of our society. This proposal equally would be very disadvantageous to independent candidates who in principle should be catered for in discussions around coalition. In coalition in South Africa must not be forced down our throats. The people in this country, the problem with this country, I'm sorry for that, is that we are not resolution orientated. We also, in that, still find ourselves with these irreconcilable historical differences. Equally, the political flip-flopping within South Africa leads us to where we find ourselves currently. It is also equally important, since we are gathered at an institution of higher learning, perhaps what we should implore and need to think of, it is how do we have think tanks who are intellectuals, who are going to take this country to our envisaged society. By think tanks, I refer to people that are going to work towards our legal and legislative framework in addressing coalitions. It cannot be that even today, that amongst ourselves, it is old people that are gathered here, and amongst our political organization, there is lullness of young people, which on its own, it is a problem. It is also equally must be noted that previously, South Africa did have what I would term as some sort of a coalition. This was with the government of national unity. But again, we do see that at the helm and at the epicenter of everything, it is our ideological differences that at the center of, we forget that it must be the people that must be serviced. It must be the interest of our people that are at the center. And at the end of the day, we still need to address the issue of land, because all of these problems of service delivery, there are issues that emanate from the dispossession, the displacement, and the landlessness of black people. You've seen in the Western Cape precisely yesterday that with the bylaws and with the DA present, that a number of people had to walk from plantation in the wee hours of the morning. With that being said, I thank you. Izwelethu.